Hi everybody, I've put together a little Easter story video for you, which I hope you'll enjoy. Many people were going to the temple in Jerusalem for the Passover festival. Jesus entered the city riding on a donkey, and the crowds cheered loudly to welcome him. They cut palm branches to wave and to lay down before him. They were excited to see him, as they thought he had come to save them from the Romans and to be their new king. Jesus is going to save us all, they said to each other. Jesus was annoyed when he saw people selling things in the temple and told them off. He said to them, "This is a place of prayer, not a place to cheat people." And he turned their tables over and sent them out. The Pharisees and the officers at the temple were jealous of how much the people loved Jesus, and they were annoyed at what he did. "We must get rid of Jesus," they whispered to each other. Judas Iscariot was one of Jesus' special friends. The temple officers gave him some money to tell them where to find Jesus so that they could arrest him. A few days later, Jesus and his friends met in Jerusalem for the Passover meal. Jesus warned them that things were about to get tough and told them to love one another whatever happened. He shared bread with them, saying, "This is my body, broken for you." Then he shared wine with them and said, "This is my blood, poured out for you." Then he told them that one of them had turned against him, and another one would deny they knew him. He told them to always share the bread and wine in this way to remember him. After they'd eaten, Jesus asked the disciples to go with him to pray in the garden at Gethsemane. He was afraid now, as he knew what was going to happen to him. So he needed to pray to his Father in heaven to help him to do what was needed. His disciples fell asleep while he was praying, and Jesus talked to God for a long time. Judas led the temple officers to where Jesus was, and they arrested him. They took him away and beat him. Jesus' disciples ran away as they were afraid of being arrested too. Jesus was sentenced to death. The soldiers made him carry his cross through the streets of Jerusalem to Golgotha, where he was to be crucified. Jesus was nailed to the cross. His friends were very sad. The chief priests all laughed at Jesus and said, "If you are really the Son of God, come down from the cross and save yourself." But Jesus did not. He knew that his death was necessary to save us from our wrongdoing and for us to have a better relationship with God in the future. The sky became dark when he died. Jesus' friends took his body down from the cross and placed it in a tomb. They rolled a large stone in front of it to keep his body safe until after the Sabbath day. The Sunday after the Sabbath day, Mary Magdalene and Mary, Jesus' friends, went to the tomb to anoint his body and wrap it properly. When they arrived there, the big rock had been rolled away and Jesus was no longer there. There was an angel there instead. Mary was weeping. She thought someone had taken Jesus' body away and she didn't know where it was. A man asked her, "Woman, why are you weeping?" And when she told him why, he said, "Mary." Then she knew it was Jesus. She knew that he had risen from the dead, and she was full of joy and ran to tell the disciples. And that happened on the day that we now call Easter Sunday, and it's the day we celebrate that Jesus rose again from the dead and he'd sacrificed himself for us. So I hope you enjoyed this little story, and I'll hopefully talk to you again soon. Bye.